It's Pride Month. Today we're reviving and swatching this 1940s Wartime polish by Klenale in the shade Gay Nite. Back then, the word gay meant joyful and lighthearted. Be aware that if you type gay in the comments, the bots might flag it as derogatory, so use the rainbow emoji instead. Since the cap is stuck, we'll give it a 5-minute acetone soak to loosen it. I make sure to use the right amount of acetone so that the label doesn't get submerged. I'm careful to make sure it's dry with a cotton pad before flipping the bottle so that it doesn't drip onto the label. On the cotton pad, you can see the plummy undertone of this red. And after soaking, it should loosen right up. The brush wand looks a little sketchy. We'll have to make sure it isn't rust causing the clumps. I have 2 Klenale bottles that suffer from rusted wands, which makes them unrevivable. I'm hoping that's not the case with Gay Nite. I'm just going to scrape off these bits so that we can investigate further. So far, the wand itself doesn't seem to be corroded. Fortunately, it's not gritty at all, it just seems to be clotted up pigment. Knowing this, we can now move forward with the restoration. As always, I'm using Seche Restore thinner. The polish isn't completely dry, but it is really gummy and will need a lot of thinner to flow. Now we'll let this soak in for 24 hours before we give it a good mix. After sitting overnight, all of the thinner absorbed into the polish and it's still quite thick, so we'll add some more thinner. If you look closely, you can see that the bottle is nearly full now. I'll be doing some hand mixing before we throw it on the vortex to try to get some of the thickened polish out of the corners of the bottle. The lighter pigment on the bottom is titanium dioxide white, which always settles on the bottom in these old formulas. Even when this polish was new, you would have to mix it before you'd use it. Now we'll give it a touch more thinner, and then we'll throw it on the vortex mixer. I have this part on 5 times speed, so I mix it for longer than it seems. It looks about as good as it's gonna get, and I'm so ready to swatch it. I won't be using the original brush since it's way too saturated with polish and would be a mess to paint with. Instead, I'll use a clean OPI brush. But anyways, let's get swatching. The formula is definitely thicker than most others from the era. I'm stunned. It dried with a satin finish. The earliest satin or matte I've encountered was 1961 Max Factor. I'm not sure if it was intentional or if the shine degraded with age, but I've never had that occur before. And here's a look at it dry. I kind of love it, so I won't be top coating today. What do you think of the finished look? I love it. It reminds me of deep red sea glass. I might top coat it in a few days since mattes get naturally shiny when in contact with oils and clothing, but I like it as is for now. Be sure to follow along for more vintage restorations and swatches. I wish you all a very gay night.